A very warm welcome to our end of the week news bulletin. My name is Sergeant Patience Asambu. The KDF Weekly Bulletin is a show to keep you updated on events undertaken by the Ministry of Defense over the week. And in today's bulletin, East African Community Regional Force begins exit from DRC. CS Duale reaffirms Kenya's commitment in pursuing regional and international peace. National Assembly adopts Ulinzi Prime Health Services Fund regulations. And in sports, Defense Forces Amateur Boxing Association emerges victorious in the National League. To start us off in our news this week, the East African Community Regional Force has begun withdrawing troops from Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. The first group of the Kenyan contingent troops left Goma International Airport on Sunday, 3rd December 2023, after 1 year of deployment. The exit is in line with the directive of the 23rd Ordinary Summit of EAC Heads of State held in Arusha, Tanzania, where the decision not to renew EACRF's mandate beyond 8th December 2023 was made. Following suit, over 250 South Sudan contingent troops have left the country through Goma International Airport today. Here's more on this story.
EAC Chiefs of Defense Forces staff met in Arusha, Tanzania on Wednesday, 6 December 2023 and adopted the report of the Defense Experts Working Group on EACRF's exit plan, which recommended the withdrawal be done in 3 phases, spanning 8th December 2023 to 7th January 2024. They further recommended that FARDC occupies the positions vacated by EACRF. The exit comes days after a visit by the Chief of the Defense Forces, General Francis Ogola, to Goma in DRC, where he met the leadership at the EACRF Force headquarters and the Kenya contingent troops in Kibumba and Kibati. The CDF expressed gratitude to the leadership of DRC and the Congolese forces, as well as the communities in the joint operation areas, for their goodwill in the duration of the mission, and called on the troops to observe the transition phase with the utmost professionalism.
Even where you are, as you are about to finish your mission, do not let your guard down. You remain vigilant until you are out of the mission area.
The remaining EACRF troops, including Uganda and Burundi contingents, will continue their withdrawal and backloading of equipment by air and road respectively until 7th January 2024. The last components to leave will be the EACRF headquarters.
Honorable Aden Duale, the Cabinet Secretary for Defense, has reaffirmed Kenya's commitment to pursue regional and international peace by actively participating in the United Nations and regional peace support mechanisms. Honorable Duale made the remarks when he addressed the 5th United Nations Peacekeeping Ministerial Conference in Accra, Ghana, that was happening in the African continent for the first time. The CS said in doing so, Kenya shall continuously adhere to the principles laid out in the UN Charter and the African Union Constitutive Act. Take a look.
The two-day forum that brought together Ministers for Defense and Foreign Affairs across the globe provided the ideal opportunity to reflect on the capability and capacity gaps in the peacekeeping efforts with a view of generating fresh insights on how the current and future peace support operations may be strengthened. The CS informed the dignitaries that Kenya is revamping a capacity to participate in peace support operations by allocating resources as envisioned in the newly formulated National Peace Support Operations Policy that establishes the Peace Support Operations Fund. Honorable Duale underscored the need for accountability, improvement of strategic communications, and recognizing the role of women in peace and security as key pillars for mission success and sustainable peace. On the sidelines of the conference, Honorable Duale held a series of bilateral talks with delegations from Australia, Canada, European Union, Hungary, United States, and the United Kingdom.
Commander Kenya Army Lieutenant General Peter Njeru recently visited troops deployed under Operation Maliza Uhalifu in Kacheliba, Kainuk, and Koloa in West Pokot, Turkana, and Baringo counties respectively. Lieutenant General Njiru lauded the troops for their diligence and professionalism in combating banditry and ensuring sustainable peace and security is achieved in the disturbed areas within the North Rift region. The Commander Kenya Army emphasized on the need to engage the local residents and the national government administration officers in the fight against banditry, which has been a menace to the locals and the security personnel.
In the conduct of the operation, the Kenya Defence Forces troops have conducted dominating patrols aimed at achieving sustainable peace and security and have as well taken part in reconstruction and renovation of schools across the affected counties. This has seen normalcy return to most of the areas in the 6 counties of Baringo, Turkana, Samburu, Elgeyo Marakwet, and West Pokot. Brigadier Ahmed Saman is the commander of the KDF troops taking part in the operation.
We would ask ourselves from history that so many interventions have taken place and what is different in Operation Maliza Uhalifu. And that's what I want to dwell on as part of the introduction, that Operation Maliza Uhalifu is different in 2 ways. From one, the multi-agency approach that most of government arms have taken as an approach to dealing with the security challenges. We've seen that work very well in northeastern provinces, in Lamu County, trying to curb the menace of Al-Shabaab and terrorism in Lamu County. And we've borrowed that and brought it to Operation Maliza Uhalifu, where this is also a multi-agency approach towards solving the cattle rustling that we've seen.
The National Assembly this week adopted the Public Finance Management Regulations 2023 that established the Ulinzi Prime Health Services Fund. The rationale for the creation of the fund is to enhance the utilization of the military level 4 and 5 hospitals, which will offer medical services to certain cadres of public servants and state officers. The importance of the regulations is to facilitate the modernization, operationalization, and maintenance of KDF medical facilities. The regulations provide that the management of the fund shall be supervised by an advisory board that shall be responsible to the Defense Council.
Mr. Speaker, the import and the overall and overarching rationale for the creation of this fund is to provide for the utilization of the idle capacity in the military hospitals that are about 6 across this country. Mr. Speaker, we were informed that at the moment, the military runs about 6 hospitals from level 5, level 4, level 5, and there is level 6 which is under construction. We were informed, Mr. Speaker, that the capacity in these hospitals runs only at 50%. We were also informed that these military hospitals only takes care of military personnel. It does not include even those people who work in the military facilities. Like, for instance, those who work in the messes, those who are working as cleaners. So if you fall sick, you cannot be treated in that military hospital in which it is situated in the military installation where you are.
The Kenya Army Corps of Signals Serving and Retired Officers recently held a mentorship get-together under the theme Constellation of Prontos, Bridging the Past, Present and the Future at Kahawa Garrison in Nairobi. Lieutenant General Retired Agostino Njoroge, who graced the event, applauded the Corps for the good initiative of bringing together both serving and retired officers, encouraging them to hold similar functions in the near future where experiences and expertise could be shared. The Corps Commander, Colonel Yusuf Hassan, appreciated the serving and retired officers for attending the occasion, noting the importance of such a get-together, and encouraged the serving officers to tap into the wise counsel of the retired officers, which will be beneficial in the execution of military duties. Moving on, Major General Charles Kahariri, the Deputy Commandant, National Defense College, recently led a delegation of NDC staff and students of course 26, 2023-2024 on an educational tour to the Kenya Navy base Mtongwe in Mombasa County. The purpose of the visit was to familiarize the participants with Kenya Navy's role in national and regional maritime security, as well as other areas of its operations that are relevant to the team's studies.
The delegation was received at Kenya Navy headquarters by Brigadier Yahya Abdi, the Deputy Commander Kenya Navy, who reminded the course participants of their responsibility to be excellent ambassadors for their respective countries' defense forces. During the visit, the delegation was taken on a sea ride on board Kenya Navy ship Jasiri. They also visited the Kenya Naval Training College, where they were taken through the college's full mission bridge simulator, as well as some of the navigational aids used to train sailors and equip them with knowledge necessary to conduct maritime security operations. At the Kenya Shipyards Limited, Colonel Abraham Biwott, the General Manager Production, apprised the delegation of the shipyard's operations and capabilities, the services it provides, and the benefit it delivers to Kenya Navy and other government agencies.
Earlier this week, the Kenya Navy divers were deployed to assist flood-affected communities in Gamba, Tana River County. The floods were occasioned by River Tana, which burst its bank following a strong downpour upstream. The Kenya Navy divers also responded to medical emergencies, transporting medical equipment and villagers from Gamba to Langola Simba using 2 boats. The aid is part of Kenya Navy's secondary responsibility of assisting and cooperating with civil authorities in emergency or disaster situations. And in sports, the Defense Forces Amateur Boxing Association of Kenya emerged victorious in the just concluded 4th leg of the National League held in Nanyuki. Stakes were high in the highly entertaining and explosive tournament, pitting some of the finest boxers in the country. The boxers were drawn from the Kenya Defense Forces, Kenya Police, and other counties and competed through a series of first, second, and third legs. At the climax of the competition, hard-hitting national middleweight champion Koplo Edwin Okongo stopped policeman George Cosby in the 3rd round. Addressing the participants, the FABA chairman Brigadier Joachim Wamburi lauded the Boxing Federation of Kenya and Laikipia County boxing leadership for organizing and hosting the event and urged the federation to make efforts aimed at international collaboration in training for the boxers' benefit. The Kenya Army Corps of Medical wishes to relay a public service announcement concerning the ongoing El Nino rains. The rains have caused occasional flooding and water contamination in some parts of the country, which poses a public health risk of waterborne diseases. Citizens are encouraged to ensure safety of drinking water through chlorination and boiling to eradicate likely contamination, to conduct routine screening of food handlers to ensure food safety, proper storage and handling. They should also ensure that all the latrine facilities are not overfilled and that they are not in contact with water surface. Finally, they are encouraged and urged to remain vigilant so as to identify and report emerging disease trends for prompt health action. Thank you for watching. We look forward to your feedback via our social media handles and your viewership next Friday for the KDF Weekly Bulletin. I am Sergeant Patience Asambu. Goodbye.